Claude Code just gave me a performance review. There's a new command that reads your last month's worth of session messages, evaluates what type of user you are, and gives you a review. It highlights some of your worst habits, but then gives you fixes for them. I found it to be really insightful. I am pretty sure Claude Code just called me bossy, if not a little bit uncomfortably accurate. Claude Code recently released a new slash command called /insights. It was announced about a week ago on this Twitter post from Tariq. When you run it, Claude Code will read your message history from the past month. It summarizes your projects, how you use Claude Code, and gives you suggestions on how to improve your workflow. So this is customized to you based on how you interact with Claude Code. All you have to do to run it is just open a session of Claude Code, type in /insights, and run it. This will take about a minute. It'll analyze your last month's worth of sessions, and then it creates this interactive HTML report for you. So this file is really nice. It's basically an overview of the things that you're doing, what's working well. It's got a section on what's hindering you. This is the pain points that it's noticed, the things that tend to go wrong for you. They give you this quick wins to try session where it's noticing things that you're doing over and over again that might warrant a skill. And then it goes a step further and calls out specific workflows that might help your particular set of tasks go a little bit more smoothly. So for me, the things that I work on, not surprisingly, YouTube content creation. It's got charts and graphs, but then it gets into the meat of the report, how you use Claude Code. So for me, a creative content producer and app developer, says I engage in extensive line-by-line iterative refinement, and it calls me out as having an interactive style of actively supervisory with a low tolerance for wrong direction. So I am pretty sure Claude Code just called me bossy. However, it says it's working for me. Despite this friction, your outcomes are remarkably strong. 33 out of 42 sessions fully or mostly achieved their goals. So I guess being bossy is a good thing? That's my takeaway. It goes on to explain a lot of sort of big picture stuff and basically what you've been working on for the last month. But then we get into the most useful part of the report, in my opinion, where things go wrong. So this seems to be analyzing my specific usage of Claude and the things that tend to go wrong repeatedly. API and environmental errors blocking progress, premature action, and misunderstood intent. This was the big one for me. Claude repeatedly jumped ahead before you finished explaining context, forcing you to interrupt and correct. I think this is at the root of my bossiness and my overcorrecting of Claude. So I have this tendency when I'm working with Claude Code to give it a big chunk of information, the beginning part of the project that I'm working on. And then I pause, take a breath, and as though I'm writing a research paper, I hit enter like it's a new paragraph. But of course, this is a command line interface. I'm just sending what I said out there into Claude saying, go get to work. I didn't mean that. So I'm constantly saying, wait, I wasn't done. There's a whole second half to what I was saying. And so Claude is noticing that and interpreting that correctly as unfinished context or a correction that there's still more data that needs to be input. This is not a Claude problem. This is a me problem. And it's actually going to give me a workaround for that. Because if you keep scrolling, you get existing Claude Code features to try. And it gives you this entire section of suggested Claude.md additions. One of them says, wait for me to finish explaining context before taking action. If my message seems incomplete, ask, are you still explaining or should I start? And then you can just copy that entire prompt and paste it into your Claude.md file. So this is actually course correcting for a problem in my own workflow. It's not Claude's fault, but it's giving me a solution to the problem that I seem to have and I can't seem to shake. That I kind of love. The next set is custom skills. So it's noticing workflows that you have repeated several times in the past and giving you a way to create skills from them. So for me, it's suggesting a set of YouTube video metadata skills that I could just copy and paste into a new skill. It's customized for me based on the things it's seen me doing over the last month. And then the same thing with hooks. It gives me a set of hooks that I might find handy in my particular projects. It's got an entire section on new ways to use Claude Code. So this is trying to help you readjust your workflow, ways to work with Claude just a little bit better. And then a really cool thing at the bottom is the on the horizon section. So this is identifying sessions that I seem to have repeatedly, sort of doing the exact same things over and over. And it's giving me an entire workflow, including agents that would run in parallel, to really cut down on my time. It gives you, again, a section that you can just paste into Claude Code, and it gives you some context as to how to use it and how you can kind of help yourself save some time by using agents. And then it's got a couple more for me. Yours will vary widely depending on what type of work you do, but it will be customized to the type of work that you do. Down at the bottom, I think it's told to try to find a fun fact. For me, it was that I asked Claude to plan a Super Bowl party menu with prep timing and shopping list. So apparently I treated snack selection with the same rigor as a 6-phase app implementation plan. Look, if something is worth doing, it's worth overdoing, right? The thing I thought was most charming, though, was this inferred satisfaction chart. How often was I frustrated, dissatisfied, likely satisfied, satisfied, or happy? Luckily for me, I am probably satisfied most of the time. If you're interested in a little bit more in depth about how this / command actually works, Rob Zolkos did a really nice deep dive into how the /insights command works. Kind of breaks it down, and he goes quite a bit into the underlying prompt. But way down at the bottom, he has tips for better insights. Not surprisingly, use Claude Code regularly. The more sessions you have, the better the analysis will be. Give feedback. Say thanks or that's not right, so satisfaction can be tracked. And I think this one, I would kind of up it just a little bit. I now think the more specific feedback I can give, it's actually going to help me moving forward. Because you remember, you can run this /insight command every month. When you run the /insights command, it goes back over your past month's worth of sessions. So the more data I can give it as to why either something didn't quite work out or what I wished it had done differently, it's actually going to almost self-heal itself. It's going to give me insights into either a workflow that I can incorporate to get better results, or commands that I can give Claude to actually give me what I think I'm asking for, but I'm not really doing in quite the right way. So I love the idea that me giving better feedback is, of course, actually going to benefit me in the end. And that's really it. Today, I saw the /insights command. I saw somebody run it. I was so intrigued. I just had to share it. I love the idea that Claude Code is not only helpful to me while I'm in the middle of a project, because I am constantly asking it questions, but now it's got a tool to make itself a little bit more proactive for me based on my specific problems. I just think this thing is really cool. So go log into Claude Code and run /insights for yourself and see what you get. You too can get your very own Claude Code performance review. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.